terrific. So you can always create new campaigns, whether it's vertical specific campaigns to new customers or just follow-ups. So you have regular subscription emails. So maybe all of your customers get the same subscription email on a monthly or quarterly basis. It updates them on you and the world and whatever else you'd want to do. Competitions, expositions, etc. Give you a nice basic support ticketing system so you can start accepting requests for help or questions from your customers. And then, of course, the ability to manage your backup plans. I can view actions. I can view more explicit details per account, see an order history. I can edit their contact information. I can change their email, upgrade their account, change the password. Just gives you real nice admin control over all these accounts. All right, so that's this section up here. Then on the right, you have the central management console. So you have the Pulse admin. So I open this up. This gives me the Pulse admin control. So here I can go in, I can see the different machines that I've installed Pulse on. I can see the different deployments. So a deployment is the combination of a backup account and a specific machine. So you can have more than one deployment per machine, as is listed here, and more than one backup account across multiple, and a single backup account could be on multiple deployments. So one account on 50 different machines, or one machine with 5 different backup accounts running. Might not be that common. Maybe 2 is more common, but 5 is a little overkill. But you understand. Gives you more details as far as an event viewer, so it tracks Windows events as far as our service is concerned. So backup ran, backup didn't run, backup ran with errors. There's also view backup session details, which is going to scrape our logs for the backup that is run and give you information like how many files were transferred, how many files were not transferred. And then you have the ability to pull details in an excerpt from the log here. And then you can extract the full client-side log if it's too big to fit here. So it gives you a nice management agent there as well. You can go to backup policies, and you can manage policies as far as what the backup set, what's the schedule. I can say, okay, show me all the deployments that are using this policy. Oh, sorry. Here's the deployments here that are using this. And I could say, okay, well, I want to edit this, and they're either going to change I can change the deployment, or I can just say no deployment. Whatever I want. It's that easy to add or edit a deployment policy onto something. Bottom section, this is how you manage your server licenses. So you hit Manage Licenses, and you can change or unassign or assign these licenses as you see fit. Pretty simple there. And the rest of it is done through the ServerSave client. So I download ServerSave EXE. It's just an executable. Now log in with my account. And ServerSave is going to scan your system and see which of these agents is currently installed or not installed. So we got our branding here, so Acme Online Backup. And we have all of the agents that we were talking about earlier. So right now, this is a workstation that we're looking at, so I have the Online Backup and Recovery agent installed. So if I hit that, it's going to launch probably the SOS branded one. Whatever version of whatever branding of the software that's currently installed in this machine, it's going to launch. Bare metal image creator. If I don't already have it, it'll prompt a download, something with Exchange Granular Recovery. Get my license details, and I could save my license to a file locally, which you got to do, and then I can download and then install Exchange Granular Recovery on this machine. We also have the Setup Backup tab that actually gives you the same thing as the Applications view, except from a use case scenario. So I'm currently installed on a laptop or PC. Then it says, okay, well, do you want your online file and folder, or do you want your bare metal image creator to create a backup? I'm on a file server, same thing. I'm on an Exchange server, well, then obviously you want to have your Exchange granular recovery installed, that sort of thing. So it's just another way to getting it done. But let me close this out, and then let's launch up a remote session. Any questions on what we've gone through so far today? Okay, so it looks like we already have, okay, the incremental just ran. So now I'm going to go through a demo of ServerSave specifically. So this is actually image stream, so let me close this out. So I open up ServerSave. And log in just like we did before. So this time I'm going to launch Image Creator. So bare metal Image Creator, I hit launch, and it's going to pull this up. It gives you a wizard to create a backup job or restore from an image. It gives you a Windows Volume Manager, list of your backup jobs. I'm going to delete this one because I'm going to create an overlapping job. Different destinations, and then your backup history, so events and then session details. But primarily, most of this stuff is all done through the wizard. So let's create a backup job. So hit backup, hit next, and then either in this view or in this view, I select volumes I want to back up. Now for demo purposes, I'm just going to grab this E drive, which is a 5 gig drive scheduled for something else. Andy says he's got to leave. Andy, hope this was interesting for you. Let me give out the Kindle code so you can go ahead and call in our partner specialist and talk about it. Today's Kindle code is TA7B3. So again, call into our partner specialist. Numbers on the website, 877-896-3611. And again, the code is TA, and I'll type it in here, 7B3. TA7B3, TAB3. So get that to your partner specialist, they'll enter you in the drawing. So thanks, Andy. Okay, so I select this exchange volume. I hit next. Now it's going to ask me, okay, well, where do you want to run this backup? And I can say, okay, well, let's define a network location, which would be common. Again, if we went back to that knowledge base article about a staging server, that would explain what we're looking at. So typically, you would be pointing this to some type of network share, network location, the staging server. And then from there, you'd be backing it up off-site. For now, I'm just going to do it to this F drive. So hit next. And now it gives me a schedule. So I have the ability to run a backup now, later. More typically, we're going to set up on a schedule. So we say, okay, weekly. I want a full backup done every week, every Sunday, and let's say, well, let's do it every Saturday at 6 p.m. Because I know how, let's say if this was a huge volume, maybe it'll take some time. So Saturday night at 6 p.m., it's going to start running a full backup. During the week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's going to run an incremental backup every 60 minutes. This is my restore point objective. My RPO at this point is 60 minutes. And it tells you how many backups you can expect per day, 11. Great. So okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and go with this schedule. Now it's going to ask you, okay, well, what do you want to do for compression? Recommend just keep it standard. The image creator or image stream that we're going to use to get the data off-site is going to compress and encrypt the data. So there's also an option for encryption here locally. It's not really necessary, and it's actually not recommended if you are taking it off-site. Encrypting encrypted data is a slow procedure, especially with large image files. So we have an encryption level here that you can select if you're so inclined. Again, we're already going to encrypt the data, a 256-bit AES, before we transfer the data over a 128-bit SSL. And then we're storing the data at an additional 1024-bit AES. So there's no lacking in security when it comes to the system. So doing this before you go off-site means you're going to see a bit of a performance drop in the off-site aspect of it, which is not so bad because you are running it from a staging machine, not a production environment. Here you can also set your retention period, different commands, so pre-snapshot, post-snapshot, and post-backup. So you can restart systems, reboot systems, pause systems, whatever you want to do. You know, back to your old batch file days. So I'm going to uncheck this, standard compression, and then we can split the image. Again, splitting an image is something that's just it's kind of historical. It's familiar to a lot of people, but because of limitations in media. So if you're running an image backup to media that just isn't big enough to hold it, then you need to split this up into multiple pieces. Some of our existing partners today, well, really only Jason, remember that we used to actually recommend coming on to or using some type of third-party program like Backup Assist or Windows Backup. And when you create a backup job, split it into a bunch of pieces so that when you go off-site, it goes off a lot faster. Well, again, you don't really need this too much anymore because ImageStream is designed specifically with the intent to take large images off-site. And also, now that you're using a staging machine, rather than backing up from a production environment like you would with